at a certain point, Hamid recognized the need for a movement practice that people could do in retreats, partly as a way of enlivening their body, waking up after lunch period, inviting the body to be more directly participating in an active way in the teachings that were happening, and also to have a simple movement practice that people could do at home that could perhaps support their meditation, could be another avenue or entry for people's deepening experience of embodiment. So I began looking at different kinds of movement practices that are part of different spiritual teachings, and became aware that each kind of practice was an accurate and objective expression of the logos or the view of that teaching. So I recognized that we couldn't just import something like yoga or import something like Tai Chi or import something like psychocalisthenics or Kumye or other kinds of spiritual movement practices, that there needed to be something that would be both simple, doable, sound easy for the body to perform, short, but also that would express the logos of this teaching. So having been studying for years, 20 or so years, the impact of various aspects and qualities and dimensions on the body, after beginning with, I think there was 19 or 21 movements to start with, began to narrow down to movements that seem to express and invite the experience of some of the key fundaments of the Diamond approach. So the sense of the absolute nature of reality and the true self, the point, as we call it, is expressed in this gesture. The sense of being aligned, the sense of that the individual core center being connected to heaven and earth and to that very central core of who we are, which is the absolute nature of reality. So another one of the movements that made the cut from 19 or 20 was the movement that seems to invite and express the experience of the pearl or the personal essence. So the sun breath that invites us to flesh out, to fill out the totality of our body, is an expression of that principle. Other movements bring in the sense of pulsation and aliveness, of ground, of core, the fluidity of the soul. So, so in a certain way, the practice, the movements are not random. They're chosen to be expressions of the teaching. And for anyone who's done the practice from, 10 years ago till now, you'll notice that the practice itself is evolving. It's evolving and transforming. In some ways, it's revealing itself. It's a living practice that's revealing itself and continuing to reveal itself. Part of what I love about it is that as I teach it to teachers who are now teaching it in their groups or to their students, and teach it to just individuals, I'm always learning from the people who are doing the practice, because their unique experience and unique articulation of the practice is part of its continuing growth and revelation. So one of the things that I love about the practice is that it's living and developing and unfolding. And as it does in the practice of a particular individual, when you take it on and incorporate it into your practice, whether it's before meditation, after meditation, or using pieces of it in your life, for different purposes, there's a sense that it is like a context or a container of a sort for exploration. It's living and new each day. So for me, the 5 movements in a certain way is another way of engaging all of our practices. So it involves sensing. The movements really impact our consciousness when we're present and sensing, looking and listening as we're doing them. It helps ground us in the body as cough meditation does, but in a different way. It brings more aliveness and breath and energy into the body as the diasomatics does, but in a very different way. And the movements can be brought into life. So the life practice is supported or can be supported by the 5 movements.